Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre ES manual. As you can see here, it's on a 60 plate, so it's one of these facelift models. So I'm having to battle the chap that's doing some strimming locally, so hopefully you can hear me. Finished in silver, and again with these later models you get a half leather interior. The car is one of the very nicest cars we've ever had, regardless of age or mileage. It's absolutely stunning. Probably the best one in the marketplace currently for this age and mileage. Front of the car, you can see there, lights and lenses completely clear and intact. Bumpers absolutely superb. Can't see any obvious marks in there at all. Coming to the bonnet itself, again, really clean. Just the odd, very light stone chip. You know, it's going to have something on it for the age mileage, but they are very light indeed. Near side of the car, passenger side, is mirror smooth on the panels there, as you can see. Front wing, absolutely unmarked. Near side front alloy, the one that takes all the bashing, and it's absolutely unmarked. Remaining panels down this side, it's been washed off, not polished, so I've tried to sort of make it shinier than it is. It's just amazing. Inside rear alloy, again, no marks at all. Come on the back of the car, it's just wonderfully clean. Quite often the video will not do justice, and this is going to be one of those, I'm afraid. Round to the off side of the car, driver's side, again, it's just mirror smooth, no indentations, nothing at all. Offside rear alloy, again, absolutely unmarked. And the remaining panel work is all but blemish free. And then final alloy, again, absolutely without a mark on it at all. I mean, externally, it looks like a car that's a couple of years old, in all honesty. Coming to the boot of the car now, as you can see there, it's got its full complement of equipment, the tonneau cover, middle shelf, but everything's just, again, been kept in wonderful condition back here. Those middle shelves, by the way, can be taken out. If you turn them upside down, they fit in the gap underneath as well, by the way. So coming into the back of the car now, big wide opening rear doors. You can see just how much leg room you get in these CR-Vs, and those front seats are set for me, and I'm over 6 foot tall, but it is in lovely condition. And that's not, you can't say that about all CR-Vs in the back, because they are predominantly used as sort of carrying kids about. They can be quite bashed about, but this has been given the very lightest of use. Front passenger door card, again, all the little recesses lovely and clean. Footwell areas all, again, absolutely clean as a whistle. And front passenger seat there, as with the rears, in beautiful condition. So finally come to the driver's door card, which again, as with all the others, in beautiful condition. Footwell areas, again, very clean and tidy. The driver's seat, again, in wonderful condition for a car this age and mileage. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so you can see the dashboard illuminated. Little cubby holes here, by the way, pop that up there. You've actually got a little USB lead in there, so you can charge your phone, play any music that may be on your phone through the system of the car. But it just looks brand new, this dashboard, absolutely sensational. Come up to the main binnacle here, pan in there for you. You can see 61,324 miles. And there are no warning lights at all on the dashboard whilst the engine's running. Auto lights, auto wipers, cruise control, steering wheel looks and feels as new in hand as well, by the way. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack is here with the car, as is very importantly the locking wheel nut key. So finally, just to come under this beautifully presented engine bay, and what a joy to see an engine where you can actually look around it without having to remove a ton of plastic covers. All the maintenance points readily accessible. Cam chain driven engines, no cam belts to worry about on these, so no major service required in that sense. Right then, this is a quick road test video. and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre ES manual. Car's registered CX60FSL. Mileage at the start of the road test is 61,318 miles. The reason, as always, for doing these videos is essentially so that if you're looking at this car online and in an advert, you actually get to see that very car in operation. We know just how frustrating it can be to go and see cars which, whilst they look great in the advert and on the photos, only to find out when you drive the car that it's got a fundamental issue with it, which, you know, would either have stopped you going or you could have made allowance for before you set off. So that's why we do it. So if there's anything that manifests itself whilst driving along, we do report it back to you. The road test is also done on these very quiet country roads, very close to our premises, so hopefully be representative of what you feel yourself if offered a test drive in the car. The car itself, as you'll know from the walk around video, I mean, it is a genuinely amazing car. The video can't really do it justice. As much as I kind of bleat on about it, it's hyperbole is a sort of dangerous thing, but it really is a sensational car. And the first thing you feel when you drive the car is just how tight and new the car feels. I used to sell these when they were brand new, and I genuinely can't feel any difference between this and one of those, because everything about it, the tightness of the controls, you know, it's something that you get with a new car. Over the years, things kind of slacken off a bit. You know, still feel well, you know, fine on the road, but the steering, everything about it's absolutely fine. What I'll do is I'll go through in order as I usually do, starting with the engine, which starts absolutely instantly, of course. Settles to a completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard whatsoever, of course. I'll do the temperature gauge in a second because I've only just started the car. I wanted to do this car from cold. Obviously, that's when it shows up most things on any vehicle. But the engine is just a superb unit. It really is. They're very, very, very smooth. So that's my phone knocking backwards. Yeah, just a beautiful engine. It really is. It's just so typical Honda. It's got a lovely sound to it when you rev it. Not that that's massively important in an SUV, but to Honda it is. But it's just its power delivery. It's just, you just know as soon as you press the throttle, you know, this is an engineering company, because the lack of vibration, lack of any harshness in the engine is immediately apparent. They've also got a reputation for unbelievable reliability over the long term, you know, with even just normal servicing. You know, hundreds of thousands of miles is easily achievable in them. And they're, you know, wonderfully reliable across those miles as well. Engine then feeds through clutch into gearbox. Clutch is perfect. Bike point's exactly where it should be on the pedal travel. Smooth and slick in operation. Gearbox is just sensational. I mean, for an SUV to have a gearbox as good as this, I've literally just done a test drive on a new 2014 RAV4, which is a lovely car to drive, by the way. So I'm not, and the gearbox was fine in the car, but it's what I'd expect of a car that type. It's quite long in the throw, you know, accurate, nice in actuation, but this is just something that could be out of a sports car because it's just so short in its actuation. It's got a lovely mechanical feel to the gear change. It's something that Honda put a lot of effort into, and this just feels again as if it's come straight off the production line. It's absolutely incredible. Steering of the car, always been a strong point in this generation CR-V. It gives the car a real feeling of solidity on the road. It feels nice and solid and sort of quite heavy for power steering, but not heavy at all, if you know what I mean. It just feels, it's not over light, which I can't stand. It tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations at all coming back to the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, so all is fine there. And it works wonderfully with the chassis because the gearing's perfect on the steering. Too quick and of course it would be unsettling, too slow and it'd feel ponderous. They've just hit the sweet spot with it. The chassis, again, because Honda's experience with SUVs probably more so than most. The CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world, and it's immediately obvious. You can see why, because it's just every way it ticks every box absolutely perfectly. The ride is wonderfully compliant, well damped. It's just a very, very comfortable car for passengers and front seat passengers alike. But what it doesn't do, unlike lots of cars where they're comfortable, is flop through the corners. It maintains its body control absolutely brilliantly. So it drives with actually a very high degree of precision, which is a rarity for these type of vehicles. There's no nasty noises coming from under the suspension at all, because when you hear it hitting a bump, there shouldn't be any kind of chatterings, and there's nothing at all on the car. Brakes on the car, I'm just going to wait to get around the corner. I did do it earlier. My keys are going to go flying if I do it too hard now, so I'm probably not going to belt them too hard. But basically, if I can just give them a bit of a shove, it's a really good, everything goes flying forward. Really good brake pedal on the car. Again, just looking for a nice solid brake pedal, which it has. No sort of pulsing vibration coming back through the brake pedal, and it pulls the car up nice and straight. Looking around inside here, as I said in the walk around video, it's it's just amazing condition. It really is. What again the video cannot get across is the build quality is absolutely sensational, because people confuse two things: build quality with materials used, or the look of materials. Honda have made this a practical interior where you can wipe clean surfaces if things are spilt, dropped, whatever else. So soft squidgy plastics isn't the order of the day. It never has been on them, and they're unapologetic for it, and I think quite rightly so, because it works brilliantly. But they're bolted together, which is the build quality part, absolutely superbly. It feels just like a bank vault inside here, sorry. And this is real build quality, as I quite often say in the videos. The problem with motoring magazines, they always do the same stupid thing. They always compare brand new cars against brand new cars, and then say, well, nice big heavy sounding German doors, and nicely damped controls in terms of sort of levers and stuff is build quality. It's not. It's how it lasts over the long term, and this is where the Hondas are fantastic, because this feels, as I said, absolutely as new to drive. Every button's got a lovely precise actuation to it. Air conditioning still pumps out lovely cold air. It's obviously dual zone air conditioning, so it does side to side, but the dash itself is just simple, easy to use. You get on top of it in seconds. There's nothing much to have to learn about the car, and it just means you can just concentrate on your driving. It's a wonderful interior with a great driving position, dead straight ahead, pedal layout to steering, visibility is brilliant as well. You'll also notice an absence of a four-wheel drive button. It has got four-wheel drive, but basically it does it all for you. Again, Honda worked out really quickly that the majority of people's driving will be in perfectly good conditions, so why have four-wheel drive whirring away when all that's going to do is kind of chew up tyres and put a lot more mechanical stress to the car, and obviously use more fuel. So basically it runs in front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time, aside from if your front wheels start to spin, let's say a bit of snow or a muddy field, and it'll bring the rear wheels in automatically and seamlessly as well. The beauty of the system is, as I've mentioned, but also its simplicity means its reliability is astonishing, because we've been selling these for well over 20 years now, and never so much as put a spanner on them. So it's an incredibly tough system. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is literally just to show the car in operation and to feedback any issues. There's nothing at all to feedback, far from it. As I said before at the start, it is just a wonderful car, and whoever's genuinely lucky enough to be the next owner will be buying a quite superb car. We're not trying to make this one the cheapest one out there, but I think it's probably the very best currently in the marketplace. It's absolutely sensational. As always though, if you've got any questions about the vehicle, don't hesitate, do give us a call and we'll get straight back to you.